Hello folks, welcome to my YouTube channel, and we are in the Python basic series for beginners. So today's topic is transfer statements in a control flow statements. Okay, so what is a transfer statement? Transfer statements are used to alter the program's way of execution in a certain manner. There are three types of transfer statements. One is break, then continue, and then pass statement. Okay, so what are all these? We will see one by one with an example. So first, we will have a look at what is a break statement. So break statement is used to terminate the execution of the loop. That is, in this example, you can see S is equal to Vishal. We have initiated a string called Vishal. Then for letter in S, we are running a for loop on it, and we are trying to print each letter. Inside, after printing each letter, it also checks for a condition that if letter is equal to I, or if letter is equal to S, then it will break the loop. Okay, and there is one last statement which is outside the loop and prints out of for loop. So irrespective of what happens in the for loop, this out of for loop has to get printed in the output. So if you run this, then you would see the output wherever they have encountered I, till that they will you will see an output that is V and I, and then out of for loop. Okay, because what happened here, it is printing the letter first it came here, the for loop got this letter V, so V was printed, this condition got false, again it came in here, checked, it got I got printed, and that I here condition got true. As the condition got true, it went inside the if loop, and it saw there is a break statement, and it thus came out of the loop. After coming out of loop, there was a statement print out of loop, so that also gets printed, and that's why the output. So this is about a break statement. Now let's move on to the continue statement. So continue statement is exactly opposite to the break. That is, continue statement skips the execution of program block after a continue statement and forces the control to start with the next iteration. So here it doesn't, once the continue statement is encountered, it doesn't come out of the loop. Instead, it will skip the current iteration and will proceed on to next. Now here you could see in the example, a for loop is initiated in range 1 to 11. So there will be actually 1 to 10 numbers. Then in that range, then the condition is being checked if I is equal to 6. So if I is equal to 6, what it says, continue. Else it says that just print I. So it is checking for the condition first and then printing something. Okay, so what is the condition? I is equal to 6. So for first two 5 numbers, the condition will become false and else part will get printed, that is 1 to 5 will get printed. Once it encounters 6, it will continue, so it will not go to the else part, it will just continue to the next iteration from 7 to 10. So numbers from 1 to 10 will be printed, but it will not have 6 in it. So let's see the result. Look at this, 1 2 3 4 5, no 6, and then 7 8 9 10. So that's how the continue statement works. Then there is something called as a pass statement. So again, I have taken a string for I in Vishal. If I is equal to h, all right, they have just mentioned a pass there, and we just try to print every I. Okay, so every letter in the string VISHL was iterated over and printed. So there was no difference. Then you would say, why do we need this syntax if there is no difference as such? So we need this because if you carefully observe in the if statement, we are not sure what to write here in the code. Okay, so that's the definition, that if we are not sure, the user doesn't know what code to write, then simply use the pass statement. So how will this help is that due to this pass, it just printed I. Okay, if this pass wasn't there over here, then it will give an error. Let's just see, it gives an error stating that it is expecting an indented block after if. So it is actually looking for some statements in if block. as the syntax for if loop is like that. So it is expected to have something in the if block, and that's why it is giving indentation error, because the next statement, the if block is empty and there is nothing in the if block, and the next statement it's is in wrong indentation. It expected that statement to be inside if, so that's not the case. It will give an error. So in such cases where you are not sure, or you will be writing some code later on, you better write pass, so that the execution of program will not stop, and you will get the expected result, and you can fill in the if block later on with any code that you want. Okay. Similarly, few more examples are mentioned over here, like for n in range 0 to 5, if n is equal to 2, then break it. Let's see the output for this. If n is equal to 2, then break it. So 0 and 1 got printed. However, as soon as it encountered true, the loop was terminated. Then again, for I in Sneha, if I is equal to E, break it. So print I is after this condition is checked. So as soon as it sees E, it will break the loop and not print I. That's the reason S and N got printed. Moving to our next example, for n in range 0 to 5, if n is equal to 2, like similar examples, however, we are just using continue statement to have a comparison. Now in continuous statement, what will happen? Here, in this case, 0 and 1 will get printed, 2 will not get printed, and again 3 and 4 will get printed. 5 will be excluded as a part of range function. So next example, for I in range 10, if here there are multiple conditions in if, that is or condition, if I is equal to 5 or I is equal to 7, then continue, else print I. So let's see output of this. Yeah, look at this, 0 1 2 3 4, and it's so 5, the condition match, it continued, the current iteration was skipped. Then the next iteration 6 was next iteration we have I as 6, so 6 got printed. Again for 7 the condition got true, so 7 does not get printed because the iteration is skipped, and then 8 9 again got printed. So that's all about break, continue, and pass. I hope you are able to understand these concepts, and that's the end of control flow statements. We have covered all the three conditional statements. In the conditional statement, there was if else, if else, and nested if else. Then in for loop, in iterative loops, we had for loops and while loops. In for loop, we also had a variation nested for loop, and in while loop as well, we had the nested while loop, and we have seen those with examples as well. And today we have seen transfer statements, and in the transfer statements there is a break, continue, and pass statement, which allows programs way of execution to be altered and in a certain manner as per the requirement. So that's all about control flow statements. Thank you. In the next video we'll start with some new topic. Thank you very much.